What's up? I don't like starting this. Imagine that.
You could have asked this time. You've told me before that you hate starting it. You could have been like, bro, do you mind? And I would have been like, yeah,
I should have. Yeah, here. Hold on.
Oh, boy, stay home!
What's up, guys? Welcome to Mechs on Deck. I'm your guest host, Dede. This is Chewy. You may have seen him here before.
Once or twice.
Over here.
No, what's up? Osiris. He got not the big sick, but he got a big sick. Hit me up this morning and he was like, guess who went to bed an hour ago and woke up? And I was like, you. And he was like, yup. And so here we are. I hit up Dede. We have our benched players.
It's true. I'm the third string. Yeah.
You are. So I like to think for two reasons. You're third string, but typically I was talking about this with Lang, and I was like, Lang and I would never get anything done. Like, you and Eric's personality are a little bit more similar, and mine and Lang's are like very, very similar. Lansky, what's up? So Lang and I would just sit there and fucking go on. It would never people would start leaving and unfollowing and unsubbing and asking for their money. And I would.
It's like when you start a podcast and you see like 13 hours and you're like, oh no.
Nope, not that one. And so I think the pairing is nice. So it's like when Osiris is out, I'll go get Dede, and Dede is very quiet. All right, can you say something, Dede?
Yo, can you all hear me? Okay, am I a bit low? I can turn it up on my end a little.
Turned up on.
I did move my mic away from myself some. Okay, that should be better. Y'all let me know if it's too loud.
It's a bit too loud for me.
Too loud?
We'll keep adjusting. Much better on stream. Okay, cool. So yeah, Osiris is out. I think we got Dede in, so always happy to have Dededecline on.
Hold the key.
So always. If you guys don't know, !Dede, you can go follow him, watch his streams. His is there. It is.
Is this my turn?
Yeah, it was Dede. Sorry, you can't hear it. Someone put in just a bunch of D's in chat or in an alert. So, guys, go check out his channel. He has one of the best, if probably my favorite, group buy streams, as well as just great keyboard content. So be sure to check him out. When do you stream?
I appreciate it. I will be streaming. I usually stream Saturdays and Sundays now. I'm trying to free up my weeks a little. So I usually do a build stream on Saturday and then group by interest check on Sunday. I believe I will be joined by Kimchi Jody Boy on Sunday, but that is not 100% confirmed yet. If we do, it will be just like we were saying with you and Lang. It will probably be an 8 to 10 hour group by interest check stream, and I'm sure it will be great.
Can't wait to watch the VOD in 5 times speed. Yeah. So, but no, it's we've got a good couple topics, a little spicy tonight. Well, that's a little off-centered. Let me move that some. So yeah, we've got a good couple topics tonight to go over. And first, I want to give a quick shout out to our awesome sponsors. You can hit up Omnitype. Their website will be up soon, very soon, as well as Canon Keys and Project Keyboards, and then our awesome partners, Smith & Rune, Type Beast, and Zap Cables. Go check them out. They are, not that we would not, we're critical of everyone, right? And not even critical, because we're not a stream where we just sit here and constantly go, let's see how much we can crap on someone. Cheer one. I gotta figure out how to. All right, we're gonna mute that for a second. Gnarly Charlie for you, thank you.
I can't hear the D's. Yeah. I just realized that's why.
Well, it's going cheer one. Sorry for the live on the fly. Osiris typically does this, so it's not really set up for me. But thank you for
that doesn't mean stop giving bits.
Yes, please. I will. is it okay? It stopped going, but thank you, Gnarly Charlie, for you. Thank you very, very much. Bubblehead Brett, thank you for the 100 bits. Iwanu, you gave a sub for 3 months. So thank you. Switch Doctor AU, go check out her stream. Thank you for the sub. G Willid or Gwillid, thank you for the tier the tier 1 for 4 months. Let's fucking do this.
Nice.
I want to give a quick shout out. So Minterly made a Zycos video. Did you see this?
I saw that she had released it. I haven't watched it yet.
I'm a little biased.
You might like Zycos a little?
I might like Zycos a little. If you guys haven't heard, I like Zycos. It's a switch that I am near and dear to. But she released a video. Brez, if you can find that video and link it, please do, because it's really well done. I made sure to PM her after I watched it. I saw something on her Instagram, and it was like this video. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And I get a ping, and it's from G Willard, and he's like, well, today I learned that Chewy made the Zyco. I was like, cool. It was kind of one of those, because I've seen them, and I was like, I don't shut up about how I made Zycos. I'm an asshole about it a lot of times, but
he probably thinks you meant like you built Zycos and you were bragging because of how hard it is to actually assemble them.
Probably.
That would make sense.
Oh shit. Well, Static Age, thank you for the sub. Not for Chewy.
420 bits.
420 bits. Let's keep the train rolling. And then Caffeinated Rick, thank you for the 1,000 bits. But they're not for me, so I will be Venmoing DD 1,000 bits. Quakums says you'll make free Zycos if we send you the parts. I'll send the parts to Quakums. So
no, it's like when you gotta punish someone else to punish the person. Send them, forward them to Jay. That's now Jay's to build, and he can.
Jay has to take it out, and then he has to pay for the bits. Chewy, caffeinated Rick, thank you very, very much for the another 1,000 bits. Good lord. She made a great video. I thought she did an excellent job. She nailed the history like to the T, which means she had to like go and watch or find out the history from someone. Because I've only said it I've said it probably 3 or 4 times, but it's been on streams a long time ago.
Right.
But she did a great job. And it's cool because like I don't make videos. Osiris makes really good videos. But if it came from me, it would just seem like such a shill, like, look at this awesome thing. Yeah, like, look at this awesome thing that I made. Whereas it came from someone else, I feel like it's a little bit more solidified, at least in my eyes. Where I was like, okay, maybe I've...
Literally also had, like, a really good video production on her YouTube videos. They look really nice.
Well, she has a better voice, too. It's not harsh like Osiris and myself, so it's... it's like maybe I could just talk real low the whole time. See, I start doing my southern accent. Taylor Emily 4, thank you for the 100 bits and the snowman unicorn. Thank you, Brez. Go check that out. The Zyco desk pad makes so much sense now. It does, yes, because Jinly Bean, an amazing artist. Is that Lang saying cowboy? Yes, it's boy howdy, and saying ooh count it is what he's saying.
Lang is all of y'all's voice clips.
If you hear something, it's most likely Lang. We used to do horns, but people got rightfully annoyed. But yeah, big shout out to Mentorly. She's a great friend of the stream, and it was a very, very well done video, and I could not have done it better. But next up, we'll do mail day and what's on your desk. So, did you get any mail?
And I did get mail, and I didn't think about bringing it over here, but I've been getting a bunch of child kits. I've been having regrets about sets that I didn't get all the kits I needed for. So I had Cat Milkshake 40s and GMK Taro 40s arrive. My second set of GMK Taro 40s because I needed 2 more 2U keys so that I could put my second Taro build together. I swear to God, I haven't done this much brain work since like calculus in college. The other thing that I had come in was I got something a lot of people here will probably hate, a Seattle Seahawks Corby Artisan, which
Ooh.
I think is super cute. I think the colors look really nice. And then on my desk right now, I have the board that I built on last Saturday. If y'all didn't see it, this is the UE40. It is a 40% with the biggest bezels. It is bigger than my Vega.
You want a tiny keyboard, but not really?
Yeah, you want to like be a little masochistic with what you're actually typing, but you want it to look like it's 65%. But I'm not using it yet because honestly, I find that intimidating. There are very few keys on that board. So what I'm actually using is my 45 ATS designed by Abek, who makes some very dope boards and keycap sets. But I've got a custom PCB and plate in here designed by NASP to make it ortho with the staggered bottom row, which is like my favorite layout. FR4 plate, creams, and Cat Eternal by Mentorly on it, and I've been having a hard time putting that board down because it just looks really nice and it sounds really nice, and I really enjoy it.
Hell yeah. And I like what Static Age said. He is get child kits, skip actual children. I want that on a shirt, like slightly modified. Child kits, not child children.
I like that. Although I feel like outside the context of this hobby, someone's going to be very confused about what that means.
Yeah, exactly. Delafin, thank you for the 12 months. So happy 1 year. Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. I guess sometimes.
Love the bezels,
Love
but
it.
kind of defeats the purpose. I mean, aesthetics, right? That's the whole point.
I mean, keyboards in general is like it defeats the purpose.
Yeah. It's like, let's be real. If we really just wanted something decent to type on, we wouldn't be here.
Oh yeah. And thank you for the 207 bits, Delafin. Thank you guys for all the bits. Hell yeah. Choo choo, exactly. So I didn't get any mail. I've got some 205 grade 0 coming in because I'm running very low, and I need that for customer builds. I've started using 206 grade 0 or 206 grade 2. Excuse me. Because of all of the heavier springs I use, I'm able to have a little bit more fun with the smooth stabs, and then some stabs and nothing crazy. Sub baby, thank you. Scott Water for the 9 months. Hell yeah. And on my desk, I wanted to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So I've got the Key Colt 160 by none other than Key Colt with Zykos, kind of an honor of Mentorly's awesome video. I was like, well, now I'm going to use Zykos. And tomorrow we have Nathan Alphaman coming on, who designed this set. He designed Polybius, and he designed the Evolve. So very excited to have him on tomorrow. Give Ursa thanks, not in a chance. This thing dethroned camping is my favorite set.
It's a nice set.
This thing is just clean. It hits everything perfectly. It's like the green is harsh, but it's because it's an accent. It's great. Put Ursa on Evolve for tomorrow. I still need to fix the Evolve. So the plate cut was messed up, and it wasn't letting the stab coming up.
Oh.
So I have to still work on it. And I told the customer, I was like, I've got a lot of crap to do. Like with work and getting these other boards shipped out and lots of other shipping things. And he was like, take your time. So I'm probably going to do that this week. Ursa round 2 win, I hope. Ursa better than camping? Yeah, I'd agree. As of right now, yeah. But that is what I have been. I actually just put this on my desk yesterday. I've been using my crown with creams for a long time, so I love that board.
Also a good combination.
Yeah, it's. Oh, you built a crown, right?
I did, and that was a really nice board.
There
are a few boards where I'm like, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to putting a bunch of money down, but I shouldn't. This was one of the few where I was like, should I try? Like, it was private group buy, so it'd probably be a lot harder than usual even, but man, that was a nice board.
Yeah, I'm still floored. Shout out Blind Assassin. The Wittgenstierke is out and group buy right now.
What a nice looking board.
I mean, I didn't get to play with it like built, but I got to look at it and mess with it unbuilt. It's a fantastic board. I watched the build stream. Blind Assassin does amazing work. I limited him with a Squid 60. I was like, I know you can do cool shit, but let's not. I was like, let's wind it back. And I've talked about it. The Squid 60 was never meant to be a design. It was never meant to like forward design in any direction. It was meant to improve upon something that's existed for a bit. So
you almost had me fooled with the original napkin drawing of it, but I hear where you're coming from.
Yeah, the napkin was there. For those who don't know, the Squid 60, the Baka 60 originally was a take at me perfecting, in my opinion, the TX60. And the TX60 is a solid board, but it has its flaws. So I really hope Styrka hits MOQ. I do too. I'm not a fan of the layout, but it's a great board.
Yeah, I feel the same way. If it was 60 with those macro columns, I'd have a hard time saying no.
Sign me the fuck up.
Yep.
So, but let's get into it. So we've got some spice. All right. I feel like GMK's off the hook today. just
somewhere Andy's going, oh my God.
All right, we're good. GMK's off the hook today. Granted, they haven't really done anything recently. They're like so backed up.
Right.
So
what's there to talk about?
Yeah. So Infinicky, come on. Like we tell you at least once a month, sometimes multiple times a month. If you just finished a group buy that had no problems, I would start supporting you. And yet, we don't have that. We have had now, and we'll get into it with Port. So for those who are wondering, is it Strawberry Lemonade? I believe is the actual name of it.
Yes, that's the set. And
that's the bad one. Okay, they're both pretty rough, but there's like an explanation for Port. So Port's been that's a very interesting, that's a very unique group buy in the sense that has been around for a very long time. Shine on Durgy, thank you for the follow. It was one of the dab time. Now I do have a dab idea loaded up, like and ready to go for me to like talk through that, but I'm not going to do that tonight. So let me pull some pictures. I don't actually.
So I actually did see an explanation given for Strawberry Lemonade as well, but I think that talking about the fact that there are explanations kind of leads to one of the big things that we'll end up talking about here is. You can tell me that there's a rationalization behind why these Infinicky sets have issues, and you could be completely right. But the fact is that there is no other manufacturer that seems to need these rationalizations and excuses every single set they run. If the issue was with a designer or a render, you would have those happen every once in a while, right? We've seen that happen with GMK and others. But it's the fact that it seems to be every single set having these issues.
Yeah.
Where things are more of a like systemic issue, which is what we're talking about, right?
Yeah. So I might have this messed up, so my apologies. Well, actually, I didn't have I didn't have the display capture set up 100%, so give me 1 second while I get that set up. So we're going to start with Strawberry Lemonade. So Strawberry Lemonade, what we're having the issue with is color matching. And while Strawberry Lemonade, I don't actually, if someone can get a link for the actual Strawberry Lemonade, that would be lovely. Yeah. So let's get display 2. And DD's face is going to go away for a minute because I don't have this set up perfectly. So my apologies on that. But let's switch out to studio mode.
You beat me by like half a second.
Ooh, got him. All right. So let's go to screen share, guys.
Oh, boy, stay home.
Actually, if I unheight, I can just like pop them up. Boom! Look at that. Look at that.
Oh, hey.
Oh, look at that. Boom. Easy. All right.
Enough.
So It's a cool keycap set. It's not for me. Very bright colors. This screams. There's like a cute keyboard club, right?
Yeah.
This screams cute keyboard club. Very bright colors. Pink, yellow. Definitely has that summer vibe to it. Strawberry lemonade would kill me because I'm allergic to strawberries. But yeah,
kind of pastel,
it's pastel, which, you know, we saw the issues with pastel rainbow, and this is what we got.
It does remind me the issue a lot of the pastel rainbow mint, right?
Yeah. So, candy canes. That's the first thing I thought of. Who said that? Kennick. Yeah. Just feeding Ely lunch, now writing reports in between clients. There you go. From afar, it looks like strawberry lemonade, but up close, it looks super Mickey D's. Yeah, so that's why I named this stream Barbershop McDonald's, because candy canes, but it also has that, you know, sometimes the barbershop, they have the blue lines, but this reminded me of a barbershop little, like, spinning thing. I don't know what that's called.
I know candy striping thing?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Something like that.
I feel like Langlandia would know exactly what this is called. But
also Dazon, the designer, who's a great guy, he just popped up in chat and said there is a slight discrepancy with the image that we've pulled up. The image that he got from Century looks nothing like this.
So that's pictures are pictures, so we can talk.
Dazon, if you want to post the other picture,
yeah, absolutely.
do that.
And I'm not, I want everyone to know. This isn't meant to shit on designers, because a lot of what's happening here is colors being approved, and we'll get into the approval of color of the color matching process here in a minute, because what was discovered happened with port. But on this, I mean, I still have a hard time believing that. Okay, so let's open this up. So this is here, let me. Sorry, DD's going away for a second.
No, it's all right.
It's still pretty red though. Like it's more
it's less red. You definitely have a little bit of the pink coming through in comparison. But again, like you were saying, like this isn't to shit on designers, because there are many people who have designed for Infinity, and this has been a problem with most of the sets that have run through Infinity, through TKC.
I mean, looking at this definitely red. This is the picture I was just sent. This definitely pink. Now, this is a hot pink. This is a red pink. But to me, this just reminds me of McDonald's, Wendy's, all that stuff, right? It doesn't do it for me. I would be upset if I received this. 100% honest. I'm not. This isn't. I'm not trying to shit on the designer. I think this is Infinity. Infinity is having problems right now. So let me take us back here. Infinity's having problems. It stinks that they are, because they have the chance to really kind of knock it out of the park on some things. You know, they have the chance to basically shut it down when it comes to good priced large kit sets and PBT, and if they can get their colors right, it's fantastic. Can't have bad QC if you don't QC. I mean, yeah.
I do think MechFix and Chill brings up a good point, is that there is both simultaneously a very close relationship between TKC and Infinity here, but also they are two separate entities.
Yes.
And so trying to figure out where the break in that chain is when it comes to these sets, quality control can be a little tricky. And we hear from TKC, we hear them talk about, oh, well, here's what happened. We don't ever hear from Infinity directly, though, so we really get TKC's word, and that's about it.
Yeah. So let me. So we got
PBT Islander. Like some sets have done really well in the color department, but then we've also seen those same sets like Islander also have really bad legend issues. So
I mean,
the issues come and go.
And shout out also, you know, we have set Cafe came out well, right? But that wasn't a group buy. That was just a here's the set. But you know, I look at Grain. It's not the same. You know, Grain is very different. in that regard. So now I've received another picture. So let's go back to screenshot.
Oh, boy,
I
stay
received
home.
one more picture. That looks a little bit more pink to me. That's looking a little bit more. But how much light is it, right? How is this going to look in your room? How is this going to look on your desk, right? Because it doesn't matter if you can get all, because this looks like it's under a lot of light, right?
Either looks like it's under a lot of light or outdoor lighting.
Yeah, or outdoor lighting. And it's kind of one of those, this is one of those things where I'm like, it might look great. It might look great if you're in perfect conditions. But is your desk constantly under great light? Is your to me, what's happening with this is the more light you shed on it, yes, the more pink it's going to be, but it's going to quickly darken to red. Quick transition. And I mean, with the space bars, yeah, it's going to look rough because of the whites there, and it's just going to show off a little bit. You know, it's going to brighten that color up some, but I'm not thrilled about this, and I wouldn't be thrilled about this. And I'm just I want Infinity to succeed. I really do. I really, really do. I don't. There is no reason for me to be like, yeah, I'm down with Infinity. Like, no, I don't want that.
No, we both would love to have another like PBT cherry manufacturer with great pricing that can do reverse dice up and cool legends. That'd be awesome.
Well, and that's like this new set. I don't know the name of it, but it's green. It's got the rune. I think it's
Veneer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, Veneer is a very cool looking set. Green, gold, some great looking colors. The runes, very, very cool. That's another thing. It's cheap. You can do these fancier sub legends. And you're able to kind of get more creative with what's on the caps. As we saw in Strawberry Lemonade, we have some different, it's more of a script font. I really like that. The font you can use is different, and we don't have to spend all this extra money on these molds. You know, when you look at some sets that have gone in this hobby where it's like, oh, why is it so expensive? It's because they had to make like 80 new molds for these keycaps. And right. Now
we've got Shanshui running right now through GMK, and it's like, all right, it's expensive, y'all, but that means we get the molds from here on out if it works.
Yeah. So, let's see. Sent you a screenshot of less lighting shots of the caps, Chewy. So let me take a gander over here. Yeah, the less lighting. It's red. I mean, it's red. Like I'm sorry, you know, but it's red. If I got this set, this is one of those sets where it's not like, oh, it's a little bit desat, like case in point, right here. I have it over my shoulder because that set caused so much fucking discrepancy in the hobby because it's a set that looks good, but it might not have been perfect, but it's still, you can still tell it's a peach color. It's an orangey peach color. This is red and pink. That's a big difference, in my opinion.
Yeah, Dazon saying in chat, it's red. The caps are red.
It's red, you know, and it sucks. Lang, great friend of the stream, great personal friend. Didn't like, he's like, they got the colors right on grain, but the QC was off. Now I'm like, okay, guys, you've proven that you can get a color correct. You've proven that you can push out Infinity products without issues with Cafe. Grain got the colors right, and that's a custom, strange color. But you've proven that you can ship, well, for the most part, ship large quantities. I know there's still people that have not received Islander. Islander had its issues, but for the most part, Islander was passable, right? Islander was, well, like, to me,
the
like,
colors worked, and people generally got their sets and were okay with it.
Yeah, like grain to me, sadly, got it's just sitting in a box. I don't use grain because of the spacebar issues. I just unless I use grain with a different spacebar, I don't typically use it. Pretty upset by it. I don't blame that on Lang. I'm not blaming this on Dazon. I don't think this is his problem. But let's talk about color matching, because color matching is obviously a hot button issue in this hobby. It always has been. It always will be. And So the next set we're going to show is Infinity Port. Now, Port was let's go back over to screen share.
Oh, boy, stay home.
Bring you out. So, Infinity Port is supposed to match this board. It's hard to match plastic with metal. We've seen this before with Olivia, right? Olivia, everyone's like, I can't wait to get my rose gold metallic board and get my rose gold keycap set and match them together. And guess what?
They clash most of the time.
Yeah, turns out they look terrible together.
Yeah.
Why Olivia did great? Because someone was like, let's put them on a black board or a very dark gray board or a white board. And they were like, oh, fuck, that looks super clean.
Or a polycard board.
Yeah, polycard board.
Yeah.
And so now you're looking at these, a key set can do great, right? A key set can be bad at first and then turn into something amazing. I think Mizu's kind of turned into that, where a lot of people were upset with Mizu, and now Mizu is like top dog. Like a lot of people love Mizu.
I think a lot of people either forgot or weren't around when Mizu first went into Group I.
And it's judged based off of what it looks like in person now, as opposed to.
Scott brings up, we don't buy boards without protos. Maybe we should start doing that for keycaps. The crazy thing is, Infinity is one of the manufacturers that is more than happy to provide a full keycap set, not just a few sample keys. They will provide a full keycap set sample. And it's one of those areas where it's like, there's clearly something there for this to work off of, right?
What is happening? And like you said, in this chain. So Port, someone send me up what Port was supposed to look like, because I don't like searching for things on
That's
stream.
The one with me. I sent you this.
Okay. But someone look up Infinity Port for me and throw it in the chat, because I don't like Google searching things. Because just all it takes is one accidental click, and then I have to shut the stream down. So, and then GMK, you get color samples, but you don't get full sets. And I get it, because that's hard to do. You'd have to, unless they had one machine working the whole time just to get one set out, and then hopefully that one. So it's like, that would be a lot.
It's just a very big problem. Like, there's a difference between I gotta get some dye and I gotta get some plastic.
Yeah.
And that's what takes part of the longest. It would take us so much longer to push double shot ABS sets if we waited for samples before running the group by every time.
Yeah. So I'm actually just gonna look it up here. So this one, sorry, Dee Dee, we're gonna cover you up for a second.
Oh,
whoop,
good.
everything went away. I shook the I shook the
Oh, I hate when Windows does
yeah.
that.
All right, so here we go. We're back up. No, this is what I want open. All right. So definitely some discrepancy. Port, it's very much a wine colored set. It's supposed to be port, right? It's not. This is like a port wine. It's a red wine. It's supposed to be a burgundy-ish color. It clearly came out as purple. like this is grape juice. Like this is you send your this is what, when like an 18-year-old's like, hey, can you buy me alcohol? And you're like, yeah, dude, do you like this? And you pull out like grape soda in a wine bottle, and they're like, yeah, dude, let's go get destroyed off that.
Or just like the cheapest plastic bottle of wine. Like,
yeah,
it's technically alcoholic, but
wine drink, like from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Right. We're like, this is wine drink. It's not actually wine, it's wine drink.
It's like Yoo-hoo, but boozy.
Yeah. So a few things about this. One, I bet that Boone's Farm, man, long story
there
about that
is.
one. I don't hate the purple. At the end of the day, I think the purple looks pretty damn good.
No, if they had put this out as an in-stock set, I think people would have bought it, and I think people would have been happy.
Yeah. I don't care for the tan with it. I think this is much better as with no accent, because the tan was supposed to match with the kind of burgundy color. Like that's what it was supposed to be.
But hey, they're accents. You can just not use them.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to have that. The renders are solid, but it's very burgundy. It's very red. The purple, I don't hate it. If this set, if this, these are two very different looking sets. Let's take what we want with it, right? This is a render. So this is fake. This is real. But this is clearly lit very well. The tan is the cork. Okay. Well, I don't know a lot of grape juices that have cork. Anyway, so we'll go back to this screen. So it saddens me again. It's one of those things where I'm like, like you were this close to greatness. Like if you had pumped out like I'm waiting, but now I'm starting to wonder, well, if they just do one good set, is that even going to be enough for me now? Like,
I think it's going to take a lot longer in consistency because, we see these are two different designers behind the boards. The renderers are people like Abek, who are in the community that do a great job that we trust and respect. And so I do see people from TKC saying, oh, well, it's because they decided to color match to the render or to a photo. And I could see that happens every once in a while. But when it seems to be so consistent that it's something that your brand is known for, then it kind of begs the question as to why it keeps happening over and over again.
Yeah, definitely. Very well put. It makes me upset. Like, let's play, let's play devil's advocate, right? Let's say these two sets come out perfect. Do we trust Infinity now?
Right.
Like
let's talk about Veneer, right?
Yeah.
Veneer is in Group Buy right now. If these two sets came out, I still feel like knowing what I know, I look at Veneer and I think, oof, they've got those sub-legends that are a different color. There's a whole alt alpha kit, and that's even putting aside the fact that the kitting for Veneer was scuffed until earlier today. And it's like, this has already had a rocky start 24 hours into the Group Buy. And one of the common threads I feel like we see is things feel rushed.
Yeah.
Matching feels rushed. The QC feels rushed. Veneer didn't have an interest check. Veneer just went into Group Buy. And then the kitting had a bunch of things that were off that would have absolutely been caught in an interest check. So even though I can't say for sure whether the colors would be right or wrong, not only their history with their previous sets, but also the very brief history of this set would make me very nervous.
Mm. Yeah, Steph Keys. We actually went over the creative. They came out and were like, we done fucked up, and we're gonna fix that because creative basically, in short, they took the orders and then they kind of they went and found someone else to do that, and they were like, okay, never mind, it's clearly not working. We're gonna make our own. We're putting a pause on orders being taken until we can get caught up. We've got like something like, it was 28 or something like somewhere in the 20s, mid to high 20s orders, and they bought their own machines. So, and they came out and they said like, we fucked up. We're not doing a good job. So we're going to do something about it. And that's what we want out of Infinity.
Yeah.
So,
because I was getting to the point where I felt worse about Creative. I was saying towards the end of last year, the difference between the two was that Infinity was delivering sets.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen Infinity say, hey, we found these critical issues in our process, so we're going to stop accepting orders. That's such a huge step and like such a big admission of trying to do better and also not trying to underdeliver in the meantime. That's like a great step of faith.
Yeah. So, and on top of that, we talk about in retail, resetting the clock, right? Telling people, hey, it's okay. Drop. Just let me know that you at least plan on giving me SA Godspeed.
Yeah.
At least let me know that you're not, that drop is not scamming me. But yeah, talking about port, you sent me this link that,
yeah, this is the one I sent.
So,
yeah.
In short, I'll just kind of summarize. Matching Pantones, right? You're trying to match these chips, and this person says, if you look at the renders, if It's mentioned that the Pantone color is 222U. But if you look at the renders match 222C. So these are two relatively different colors. They are both in the same magenta, maroon, purple, pink area color spectrum. And it says, I'm guessing where there's some kind of misunderstanding about exactly what 22U is. The difference between coded and uncoded is big. Usually coded is the preferred color palette to use, but maybe Infinity is only using uncoded. And so that becomes a much bigger issue, right? Because now you're sending a color palette, and saying, I want this color. And Infinity goes, cool, I'll send you this color. And then you don't get it. And this could explain a lot, right? This could explain port. This could explain strawberry lemonade. This could explain pastel rainbow, which it works like for my wife's board. Right. Like it works for my wife's board, but the amount of people that were expecting one thing got something else, it kind of explains it a little bit more. We're getting these kind of different colors due to this system, maybe the communications there. So maybe that's that break in the chain that we're talking about, where this letter that's just getting turned on its side is that's where the issue is. And if that's a huge problem that needs to be addressed ASAP, and it needs to be addressed from TKC to designers, like ASAP.
Because this isn't a manufacturer where if I design a set, I email the factory directly and work with them. There is a single conduit to Infinity, and it's through TKC. And if TKC knows about this, it's their responsibility as that middleman to say, hey, designers, make sure that what you're doing works as the uncoded. And it's their job to talk to Infinity and say the same thing. Hey, validate that this color that you see here maybe is the uncoded color that you're seeing in front of you with whatever samples you have. Because otherwise you're kind of shirking responsibility that should be on you as someone who's making money off of these sets, right?
Yeah. So, first off, Templa23 asks, has there been any Infinity set with no issues? Not a traditional group buy. We have had some Infinity made cafe, which kind of came out as I think it was Black Friday, or it was around the holidays. But that wasn't a group buy. They went up to Lang and said, let's do this together and make this kind of, we'll buy however many sets of it and then sell it. And there it is. There's no group buy for it. And then they did the set with, why am I going blank on the esports name? Liquid, Team Liquid.
Yep.
And so, but those, once again, those aren't group buys. Those are pre-purchased sets. They're going to be QC'd a little bit longer because there's no rush, right? And I almost wish they would probably be better off if Infinity was like, we're making 500. If you got a design, it's 500 and that's it. And we're buying it up front. You get X amount of money and then we sell it, but you only get X amount of money after they sell out or whatever. Or have it, you get X amount of money up front and then X amount of money if they sell out. And yeah, you're right. Cafe, but the thing is, Cafe, you're now comparing two sets that are made by two different manufacturers, and they're not going to be the same because PBT is different than ABS. And so, yeah, you're right. It doesn't look 100% right, but to me, it is. You kind of have to look at it as this is Infinity's version of Cafe. It
would have been a fool's errand to try to perfectly match it.
Yeah, it would have taken too long.
Set. Yeah.
And then it still would have. I mean, you're talking about die sub versus not what I just went completely blank.
Double shot.
Double shot. Thank you. I kept thinking because I kept thinking sublimation. I'm like, no, that's sub and die sub. But it's a very different process. But I think they did a good enough job. I think Cafe was acceptable. It's kind of, I did make the joke to Lang and I sent it. I was like I want GMK Cafe, mom, we have GMK Cafe at home, and it's the GMK Cafe. But it's good enough, right? And I think Scott Water I believe Scott Water has Infinity Cafe. Looks great. Looks solid. So, and I don't know how many like QC issues had it.
As for the group buy sets they've had, I think Islander is the one that most gets shown as doing well, but it did still need a fix kit. I have seen plenty of pictures of Legends all over the place. I saw someone who got sent 3 Bs, and every B was different. So even when the colors are right, we still have issues that should be addressed and are pretty emblematic in every single set that we've seen. But it is relatively one of the more successful group buy sets.
Yes. And for how big of a set it was, it's great.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like height of the whole Animal Crossing.
Yeah. Well, that can we just side note? That game could not have come out at a more perfect time.
Oh, yeah.
Like they could not have sold like they could not like because they kicked it back 6 months so they didn't have to do crunch time.
Which is really just serendipitous.
Yeah.
I joked about like what if Pokemon Go had released at the beginning of COVID instead? Like just complete opposite end of the spectrum of how that would have gone for everyone.
We would be dead. We would be actually all of us would be dead. So Animal Crossing saved the world. Honestly, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. That's how I got to be close.
It was a great distraction.
That's how I got to be close with Keep Noob. They had insider knowledge 6 months ahead of time. I like that idea. But yeah, someone was mentioning it. Now we're getting to the point where I'm like, one set's not going to fix it for Infinity. Like one good group buy is not going to be the savior of this.
But the thing that would get me to just go, this is the one that I'm going to enter, like without what I think you're saying, which is, let's see a steady stream of these successful, maybe more in stocks. If they did what Creative did, where they said, we're going to halt new sets, we're going to do this, this, and this, we've identified these 3 problems, or whatever they find. Something like that, a big drastic action that has a lot of transparency, that's a thing that could make me just flip a switch.
Yeah. Yeah, or it's like, oh, okay, actual communication.
Right.
Who knew?
What a concept.
Yeah, exactly. Who knew communicating? You know what? One thing, I'll talk about this once the Squid 60's kind of sort of officially wrapped, because DD's not getting his board for at least a month, holding at ransom, right? No, but is communication. It's not, to me, it's not difficult, because I've been in group buys that were really not good. I've been in keyboard group buys where the keyboard never gets made. I've been in a keyboard group buy where the keyboard takes over 2 years to make. I've been in keyboard group buys that are wrapped up in less than 6 months. Like, communicating is not that difficult. It's just all you have to do. Hey guys, we want to talk to you real quick. And an official, not like I posted some random thing I'm talking about email blast, which we'll talk about email blasts in a minute. But I'm talking about send an email on your newsletter. You've got you've got this access to all these emails. Send an official apology. Just being like, hey, we're sorry, we're working on it, because that's all the issues are, right? Is you like, are you working on it? Like, you keep saying sorry, but like, if you keep apologizing 6 times, I'm like, come on, like,
right?
Don't go
F guys. It's a lot different when the apology is also, here's the invoices I've put in, and here's like the email from the factory giving us an update. Having that substantial information in there means a lot more than I'm so sorry, you guys.
Yeah, proving consistency is important. Let's say these 2 sets were made, though. Let's say Port and Strawberry Lemonade did well. I would still back burner this set. I would still like, is there anything else I want? Like, more like, because there's some sets you can't buy every single one, right? It's hard to just keep buying sets.
Especially now.
Yeah.
More than ever.
Yeah.
And that's I think the big thing is, like, if I'm in the mood to buy a set and I look at the calendar, there are like 18 sets running at any given time, and I'm going to look and I'm going to go, okay, well, this one's in finicky and it looks kind of cool, but I'm not sure how it's going to come out. Meanwhile, this PBT set, this GMK set, I have a much higher bar of confidence that that's going to come out in a way that I'm going to be happy at the end of it.
You know, that's why I've been thinking a lot where I'm like, with the amount of, you know, we're getting better color match GMK. Thank you, Nebulant, for that. Like, huge thank you. But it wouldn't surprise me if we start seeing fewer first round runs, and then these epic. Like, why are all these huge sets popping off so hard? Moto round 2. It exists. People have seen it. Olivia, it exists. People have seen Oblivion. It exists.
Super safe.
You know what you're getting, and I think a lot of people want. I think sets like, even sets like Peaches and Cream, right? I think a set like Peaches, I don't think it would do as well as Moto or Olivia, but I think it would. I think it would do really well, just because it's like, oh, well, I've seen it in person.
Right.
Maybe not in the last like 10 months.
It is probably the definition of the devil you know.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. But I think you bring up a good point with like Nebula and what he does in giving people confidence in just knowing he's involved. Like, when we talk about board or keycaps of the year from 2020, I was thinking about this earlier today. Like, Bingsu and Botanical, both sets that he did the color matching for, I think came out better than almost any other set last year. And so
that's why I'm looking for Botanical now, because I'm like, God damn it, no, I won't.
Oh, Botanical's so nice, and I will have a very cool Botanical build as soon as my Rukia arrives. I'm very excited for it. But like that's something that gets me in on a first round. You tell me Nebulant or someone who does something similar is going to do the color matching. Cool. I will trust that it will come out looking really nice at this point.
Yeah. So, but we've talked a lot about keycaps. Let's move on. Just Infinity, get your shit together. So let's talk about. So we got a first look at the GMMK Pro. This board was a very talked about board. It had a lot of features that I have poked fun at quite often in the past. Gasket mount, it's got a knob at 75%, so it's basically a TKL, but it's smaller. You know, you could put.
To their credit, it's not a 65%.
It's not a 65%. Yeah, it's not the full meme, but it's got the knob though. I feel like if it's 75 with the knob, it's like right up there. It's like,
yeah, that's fair.
Did you see that the TKC CEO will be doing an AMA stream? I did not. Well, guys, get your questions ready then, honestly. Like, I'm not trying to be like, don't go out and attack them. You need to be asking honest questions. But I think if you go in and you're like, hey, we have not seen good quality products from Infinity that you guys are delivering this Friday. All right. What are your plans to fix this? How are you going to ease the minds of your buyers? That's what you need to ask. Not like, why the fuck is this set not done right? Like, well, no shit. Then you're not going to get it. If you meet him aggressively, he's going to treat you aggressively, or just ignore it. But if you're like, hey, what are you going to do to assure me that my money is being spent safely?
Right. I think that's going to be the elephant in the room, is like, TKC has had a rough year as far as the trust it has in the hobby, from the Molly group buy, the SP111 group buy, the Godspeed 75 group buy, all the Infinity group buys. And I don't think it's unfair to say, you know, given all of this, what's the plan moving forward?
Yeah, absolutely. Or just, you know, like the Jinly Bean, yeah, how dare you? And I spend a lot of time in chat with Jinly Bean, so she knows that I love that. Like, you know, first off, how dare you? Especially like when someone yawns or burps. I'm like, you know what? First off, how fucking dare you? So, but no, let's talk. So GMMK, they did their streams. First and foremost, I love that I got a fucking email about their stream, and I was like,
like from GMMK,
yeah,
right?
from GMMK. Okay. It was like, we're gonna be streaming tonight. Here's the link, and I was like, fuck, dude. take over. Like, this is how you take over, right? You've already got everyone's email. You've got 20,000 people's email that you can just blast them right now.
Probably more than that. If they've sent that to anyone who's bought something from GMMK, that's a lot of people that are suddenly going to be a lot more than we see in this hobby.
So, yeah, that was. I thought that was fucking hilarious. Like, hand to God, like that was. I laughed. I opened the email. I was like, oh my God, they're like they're doing this. They're like promoting their Twitch stream. Like,
yep.
How valuable is that to it? Like, if you, Didi, every time you're about to go live, you email 20,000 plus people, you bet your ass you'd be hauling in, a quarter of that at least to stop by for us. Quick, so maybe not even a quarter, maybe 5% of that. You're still sitting real pretty.
Pretty decently.
Pretty decently. So yeah, that made me laugh. I went to check, and if you guys haven't seen, there was unfortunately an interesting moment where the stabs were asked to be checked, and I don't want to sound like I am hating on the person that did it. The name escapes me at the moment. Betty. And she is someone who reviews pre-builts.
Right.
She is someone who reviews pre-builts. I am not. I don't think it's not her fault for not knowing how to do this. It is GMMK's fault for not picking someone who is an experienced keyboard builder. Maybe they're picking someone that goes, I don't know how to build. I've never really built any, so that's fine. But
you can't expect them to also be a good reviewer.
Yeah, like if you're putting yourself out there as a good reviewer, you're probably stating like, oh, I know a lot about keyboards. So that question, I feel like that entire situation, while it was kind of funny and goofy, it also kind of made me go like, man, like teachable moment, right? That's where you could.
GMMK is like this new upcoming vendor from a community member, and like they're getting on their feet. Like GMMK has a lot of money and resources. If they wanted to hit up one of the top streamers or YouTubers in this hobby and say, "Hey, you want to do this for us?" They could very easily do it, pay for it, know what they need. That wouldn't be a problem. There's no reason for this to happen.
Yeah, I don't. If they had put someone. Even if, right? Like, this kind of makes me worried about, so GMMK is probably going to need to make a, like, video. And if I'm GMMK, if you're listening, sorry for hitting the mic, if you're listening, spend some money and make a video of how to put this thing together. And it needs to be, like, 20 minutes. It doesn't, you don't need to show someone sitting there popping in switches for, 20 minutes. Here's how you pop in the switch, boom. Here's how you pop in the switch, boom. And then just fast forward, and then that's how you do it. Like,
make it like one of the tasty recipe videos.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
It needs to be like 5 to 10 minutes, and you should spend some decent money on this and get some good shots of someone putting this together, because it's a little confusing. It looked a little awkward putting together. I'm like, this looks like kind of tricky, right? This isn't a tofu where you just, all right, here are the screw holes, here are the screws, there are the holes, it goes on top, you screw it in, bam, keyboard. Like, it's not like that. It's a little bit more complicated. And it's a hot swap too, so not entirely for builders. Perfectly reasonable, but hot swap users need to know how to do stabs.
Yep. I
will say that hot swap users need to understand how to take care of your stabs to make them sound better. Your keyboard will work if you just screw the stabs in. But if you want a better feel, you're going to tend to your stabilizers. Maybe GMMK. Maybe all you need to do is release how to tune your stabilizers.
They should do the whole thing. They sell their own branded lube, and I believe their own branded stabs too, and their own Holy Pandas. Show someone, make the whole videos, or make a series of videos. Hey, here's your Holy Panda. It comes completely unlubed. Here's how you spring swap if you want. Here's how you lube it. Here's how you lube your stabilizers. Here's how you assemble the whole thing. And they can show all their products along the way. They should absolutely do that if they're trying to move people who are used to like buying the glorious mice or the more compact pre-builts that they've had in the past into our section of the hobby, right? Because they're trying to do both. They're trying to convince people interested in custom keyboards into buying their products. They're also trying to convince people that already buy their products into making things a little harder on themselves.
Mm-hmm. What I think they could have done, and this is no shit, what they should have done, they should have gotten someone like Teja or Odos or Quakums or Jay, one of us two. I would have happily done it. What they should have done, and then get someone someone who's never built a keyboard, and have one person walk the other person through how to do it. Yes. I think that you can have that can be in different rooms, and go, here's what I'm doing. This is what you should be doing. And so you sit there and you build it, and then boom, now you have a video. You have a video of someone who can literally step by step do it. And you go, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm clipping right here. I'm lubing the stab right here. I'm putting it right here. I'm doing it this way. And then you're now showing, not only are you showing how to do it, you're showing that this inexperienced person can do it just based off of this video.
And I'm sure they'll have cool questions too, right? Like, we take for granted a lot of the things that we know about building. And so having someone like Teja walk someone through who's less experienced in it, they would probably have questions that the average person who's also coming into this for the first time would have. And that would be hugely, hugely valuable. I think the other thing that they really missed out on here was the sound test. And they asked for it. I don't know if you watched this part of the video, but they were like, yeah, could you do a sound test for us? And Betty wasn't set up for that. Betty clearly did not know that that was something they were going to ask beforehand. And they should have told her that, because she ended up having to use her headset mic. And that's something you should say in advance. We want a sound test out of this. That is so important when it comes to releasing a new board.
Absolutely.
And they should have that.
Yeah, I honestly, they're saying, oh, like, they don't want someone to be criticism. If GMMK approached me and they said, hey, Mechs on deck, Chewy, Dave, Mechs on deck, whatever, we want you to build this board. We're not looking for criticism. We'd appreciate it if you didn't say anything about this board while building it. And honestly, I probably wouldn't even do it for like, I don't think I would sit there and go, how much money can I milk out of this? I'd probably just, that's fine. Whatever. Like, shout us out. Like, essentially just like, don't do it. I'm not going to do it. Like, I'll do it for free, but you have to acknowledge that we exist in the keyboard world. And I wouldn't say anything. If someone says, I want you to make a build video, a build video is not a criticism video. If I want to after go, I built the GMMK Pro and I think it sucks and I think it's the worst design board ever, that's fine. But that's not what they're asking for, right? They're asking for someone to just build it. And, it's not like, even as the two of us, we build boards for clients all the time. We have boards that that neither of us would like to use ever, but we still build it. It's not a board that we're like, God, this is fucking terrible. This guy made a mistake buying this fucking board. Fuck this person. Like, no, we don't do that. We just build it and say, let's just hope to make it the best that we can and hope that they like it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've definitely had builds where I'm like, okay, well, this clearly, like, this board could do better here, but let's see what we can do. And there's usually something, that's part of the experience of having someone like one of us do it, is we've seen a lot of the issues that arise. We can say, oh, well, I've got, some foam that I can throw in here, or maybe some different screws or a different stabilizer. And that's super valuable to have, where, you get someone who's experienced with pre-builts, they're not going to have that same valuable input.
Yeah. So I think they could have done better. They can still do better. That doesn't have to be it, right?
No, for sure.
It's not out yet. Well, I mean, it's pre-orders, but put that board in a streamer's hand. And if you want them to shut the hell up about it, because you can start the stream and you can literally just go, GMMK asked me not to detail anything of my criticisms on this board, and then you're good, right? Then it's like, okay, and then for this video specifically. Now, if they're like, we're gonna pay you, but you have to keep your mouth shut forever, that's where I'd be like, time out. I'll build your video, I'll build your board, and say it exists. And I'm sure there are parts of that board that I like. I am sure there are. and I would focus on those parts. like, like the plate cuts fit the switches, and it's great. Like the PCB,
the anodization is there.
The anodization is on the board. It is not raw. The PCB works. Good job. Like, you know, you can do that stuff. Like I've never been paid to say a board is good or bad. We've never accepted money. That's never something that we've been offered by some really shitty looking keyboard companies that are like weird, like typewriter looking. They're like, we'd love to give you this much money if you go on your stream. I'm like, no, fuck that. like I don't even want that thing in my apartment, please.
Well, and because that's the other challenge of like appealing to the people in this community. A lot of us have watched a lot of typing tests, a lot of reviews, and we know what we like to see and hear. And the bullshit meter is pretty easy to throw off.
Yeah.
If you came on stream with like an Ajaz pre-built $40 off of Amazon and we're like, this is the best keyboard I've ever typed on.
This thing.
No one in chat is going to run out and buy one. They're just going to be like, okay, so Chewy sold out. We need to just ignore him for now.
This thing, let me tell you, I'm selling my key. And of course, it wouldn't even be titled. It would be like, Chewy selling his key code? Question mark. Sorry, Chewy selling his $14,000 key code, custom built, blah, 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 by this person. Like, no, I mean,
throwing out a $2,000 board for a $40
for a
$40.
Is it too good to be true? Find out this week, and then it's like
with a clip of you like throwing the key code,
just yeeting it out the door. I want the GMMK Pro to show up and be great. It could be a thing. G, but time will tell. I really hope it's good. I really hope it's solid. I don't need it to be the best board ever. It doesn't need to be. I think it needs to be a solid board that can get people into the hobby.
It needs to beat anything else at this price point, which I honestly think it has a good chance of doing. You know, the feature list is pretty decent, and the bar, it's at like what, $175. It's really competing with like some of the cheaper KVD fans offerings, which are solid. I've liked many of them in the past, but I definitely think this could beat them. So yeah, it doesn't have to beat, you know, the $400 customs. It doesn't have to beat key colts. It has to beat the entry level stuff, and I think that's relatively feasible.
Also, Osiris TV. Miss you, bud.
Hey,
thank you for the sub. 17 months. Hope you are feeling better. Stray Chroma better than the ID80. How much money are they paying you to say that? I'm totally kidding. That's a board that I do want to try. Is the ID, the kind of the ID board, the IDB 60 IDB. I haven't tried any of those. I trust Stray Chroma's opinion. Negative 200. You got ripped off. I'm sorry. I do want to try one of those boards because it's a solid price point, right? And they're solid boards.
I mean, $300. That's like 3 artisans. So I don't know.
Exactly. That's what do you want? What can you do, right? I wish I could hear Dededecline's stereo system right now. It probably wouldn't sound that great through the stream.
No. Vinyl is best listened to when it's output by digital stereo and then input through my mic into Discord.
Into Discord, that's then transferred into my Discord through OBS into Twitch.
Practically lossless at that point.
Peak. Feel better, but very tired. About to go to bed. Get spicy, boys, dude. Always, man. Always. You know, we just
feel better. Just
been shit talking and finicky like the usual. It's
Tuesday night.
Exactly. So we've kind of wrapped. I mean, GMMK, you still have time to fix this. I think you can do better. Honestly, GMMK, dude, I live 30 minutes from your headquarters. Like, hit me up. I will drive my ass up there and build
that's
a
a great pitch, honestly.
Like, you don't have to pay for transportation. You don't have to pay for like a hotel or anything. Like, I will do a damn rapid test right before I walk in. I'll wear the mask. I'll wear some gloves. Like, just let someone who is I'm not saying I'm the best builder. I'm not the best builder, but I'm an experienced builder. I guess brag.
There's a huge number of people in the community, especially streamers and YouTubers in Texas. There are many people that could be doing this.
Anthony 001 or 001 Anthony, sorry. Tyson's down south. Let me just dox a bunch more people. Texas area.
Here's their address.
Here's their address.
Their SSN.
There you go. Drifting
Bunny.
Bunny. Lots of people that were just like, we're all like, you don't have to look that far. You don't have to look that far. Be right back. Going to kidnap some Texans, dude. Bring it on.
Out the 40 server, actually, though.
Also, Zap said hello earlier, and I forgot to say hello, and now I feel really bad.
Oh.
But I love that I get to show off his stuff now. Like I try and find a way to sneak in something from every vendor. You know, so I've got Peaches and Cream. I love Rinsuya, and I came through Canikies. I've got Bumper. I've got Moto. So from Omni Type. I don't really Smith and Rune. I've got my shill jug with some outdated stickers right here that I'm awaiting some more merch. I was like, the one thing
sweatpant company.
I do have the sweatpants. Yeah, they sell great sweatpants. They also throw keyboards in the mix from time to time. No, I want to vent about something real quick. This has nothing to do with keyboards. All right. My wife, her coworker, like broke both of her wrists at the same time.
Oh, jeez.
And she's like a mother of 5 or something. And so at work, they're like, let's all come together and like we'll kind of like adopt cooking dinner for the day. And so,
that's nice.
and my wife offered, and I was like, yeah. She's like, hey, we're gonna do this. And I was like, all right, whatever. And so she was like, well, I've got to cook this massive dinner for like 7 people. Can we not cook for us time? I was like, yeah, let's do something easy. Let's go get like Taco Bell or something, because Taco Bell is bae. So we go get Taco Bell. My wife.
Oh, I was going to say, or get something good, but sure. Yeah,
you know what, dude? Listen, all right. When you want to spend $15 on dinner for 2 people,
go to Whataburger.
Okay, but Whataburger does not have a lot of vegetarian options.
That's fair.
You should know. Is it your wife vegetarian?
My wife is vegan, and her Taco Bell is bae.
Exactly. Okay, so you get it.
I get that. I do get that.
So, we go there. I pick it up, and I get it's fine. I get the same parking spot. She got a great parking spot. We usually, her car's nicer than mine, so we usually take hers. I left, and I was like, fuck. I hope I can get the same parking spot. Go through, drive through, we do the online order. Everything's fine. We come back. I'm like, damn, got the same spot. I parked backwards for her so that she, can get out of the spot easier. Get up, and they fucked up 2/3 of her order.
Yeah, and that's why even my wife doesn't really get Taco Bell anymore, is because consistently they fuck up her order, like 75% of the time.
$15. That's bougie Taco Bell. Yeah, it was. Yeah, you got to get. I like the quesarito. I love a quesarito and a chalupa. So I go back. I'm like, hey, you messed up. And one of them was like a cheesy gordita crunch, and she got the one with the nacho, the Dorito Locos taco inside. And I just got a plain one. I don't like messing with the extra edits. So I've got that, and then her chalupa was messed up. And I was like, hey, I didn't even get one of these. And then the other, it was supposed to be stuff for black beans, and it was meat. And Taco Bell breakfast is sneaky good. But honestly, Whataburger breakfast just hits differently.
It's so good.
Even I do have my wife on Whataburger breakfast. And so I'm like, hey, I need to do this. And she's like, okay, so what's messed up? I'm like, I just fucking told you. Like, I just told you. So I didn't say this, but, I was like, yeah, well, I didn't get this, and then this was supposed to be beans. And she's like, well, do you have the food with you? I'm like, no, I left it at home, because if I hand you the food, you're going to grab it and throw it away. So I'd rather at least have it. Like you can't do anything with it. I don't know if that's a legal thing. And I'm like, okay, this is what...
They're not going to like turn around and be like, here's your order to the person next.
Or they're not going to like scrape the meat off and like reuse. I'm like, no. So I'm like, I need this. And it's a lot of miscommunication, because now I'm having to order the extra add-ons and takeoffs and all that. So they go up and they hand me this thing, and they put it down, and I look, and it's one chalupa. I'm like, you also forgot the gordita crunch. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, oh my God. Like, I'm really rooting for you. All right. You're an underpaid hourly worker, critically underpaid. I really hope you get that raise soon. You've worked all through a pandemic. Like, I just want my damn my damn food. It's not even for me, right? It's not even for me. It's for my wife. I just want my wife to have her food, and my food's at home.
I have gone through that exact same thing with Taco Bell so many times.
I'm like, and finally I open it all up, and then we get home, and I'm like, okay, here it is. And we just kind of like at the end, we're just like, was that even worth it? Like because we were up in the air. This is no shit. We were up in the air. We're like, do we get pizza? Or do we get Taco Bell?
Right.
And I took 2 pieces of cheese, and I was like, I'll drop them on both sides, and left side Taco Bell, right side is pizza. Whichever piece of cheese my dog goes and gets, we'll get that.
That's a very elaborate coin toss.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was looking for a way to give my dog cheese, and so I drop it. Of course, he's a Chihuahua, so he went straight for Taco Bell. I mean, he got you got to serve the mascot, right? And I'm like, damn, we probably would have been fine just getting pizza. Anyway, I'm sorry.
If you had ordered Domino's, it would have shown up in 25 minutes, and it would have been fine.
Yeah. Are we still talking about Taco Bell? Yeah, we are. Last time Taco Bell messed up, the order manager gave me like 15 free tacos. Dude, that's awesome. That's what you got to do, bro. Chewy, that is the most wild way.
No, you didn't read the rest of that comment.
Oh, sorry. I got home to show my wife instantly. Ah. That's awesome. Okay, never mind. It was not. I've tried Taco Bell. I've never tried Taco Bell in my life, but everyone's stories just make me not want it. It's Taco Bell is right here. It's not the best. Your service, the food is never going to be bad.
We're going to bring
but if you can,
circle. Taco Bell is the infinity of fast food.
It works. It's good. I mean, it's solid. Taco Bell's solid.
You will get something that is a semblance of what you ordered.
So, I just want to let everyone know that we are, in fact, sponsored by Omnitype, which we'll hear from more next week, because we actually have Garrett from Omnitype coming on to join us next week, next Wednesday. So be sure to keep an eye on Omnitype. Next up, we have Canon keys. Check out GMK Shanshui if you want those crazy new molds and you want to support that. So be sure to check that out.
And they've said that all kits will be made.
All kits will be made. So hell yeah. Also, those desk mats are insane.
They're so cool.
Shout out to the Seal linear switch by Mentorly and the lavender linear switch. I'm really excited to use those. Check out those Mentorly switches. Go support her because she's awesome.
The seals are what, like 78 grams?
78 gram, which, she says heavy. Everyone else says heavy. I know she doesn't actually mean heavy. So just saying.
Well, you use like 90 gram switches.
98.
98.
98. So, but guys, also we've got not GMK. Project Keyboards.
Surprise, this is sponsored by GMMK.
GMMK. I mean, I do have the mouse, right? I love their mouse. Their mice. Go check out Project Keyboards. We got some pre-orders. Looks like you can pre-order maybe something from Sumi. Yeah, base kit. Looks like you can still pre-order the Sumi base kit. That looks to be about it. Oh, never mind. Looks like Noir as well as the Alice PCB.
They have been hinting that Kendo is finally going to go into Group I.
There you go.
They've been teasing that on their Discord.
Yeah. So be sure to check out Project Keyboards. You can go to mechsondeck.project.link. Next up, our awesome partners. You can check out the best cable maker, in our opinion, Zap Cables. Be sure to go grab yourself a custom cable kit if that is something you're interested in learning how to do. It's pretty easy. If not, you can also buy some of these pre-made ones that he does. He'll do runs of them. They make great. I have one cable to rule them all. Type Beast, you can go typebea.st. for the Great newsletter. The 11th newsletter was released recently. Great newsletter to be a part of, so be sure to check that out. And then Smith Rune, great sweatpants and t-shirt makers. Fantastic people. No, but they make the Iron 165, Iron 180 in production. Keep an ear to the ground for those Iron 180 extras, as those are some awesome boards. And
I'm sure they'll have something new at some point in
this year. I imagine
future.
in 2021, something from the Smith and Rune lads will come out. Someone needs to make a super progressive 100 gram plus, or that feels like 65 gram most of the way, so that everyone can join the heavy spring grain. Yeah, or just just get those sausage fingers like me. Look at that. We're a size like 13 ring. Iron 265 is happening within the next 3 months.
All right.
You heard it here from Kale ____________. I think that's enough. Well, Dede, I want to say thank you very, very much for coming on.
Absolutely.
I love when the need can be. When I love being able to go to someone and go, I bet I can count on Dede to help out here.
What Chewy's very nicely saying is that I don't have anything else going on in my life, and I really like the show, so
Yeah,
I'm
right.
always happy to come on. Absolutely. No, happy to come on, chat, talk drama. It's always a good time.
Absolutely. Gotta love talking, sipping the tea. When are you coming on next, and what are you doing?
Next up, I forgot to put my schedule out this week, but Saturday, speaking of TKC, I will be building an SP111 with a custom polycarb plate and the new Dolphin switches. So I'm very excited about that. Sunday, I'm going to be doing my usual group by interest check review. Sometime Sunday afternoon. I really don't have a set time, but I think I'm going to be joined by the one and only Kimchi Jody Boy. So if not, you can expect a really fun couple of hours with me. If he does join, expect a really fun 8 to 10 hours of us. It'll be a good time. Check it out, and I hope to see y'all there.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you. Tomorrow, Cyrus should be back. Got Mr. Nathan Alpha Man coming on tomorrow to chat some keyboards and some key sets. So excited.
GK Polybius is so good.
So good. I'm like, oh shit, so good. So be sure to check that out tomorrow 8. This Saturday, Osiris will be building a Squid 60 at noon. He is actually going to build a Squid 60 before I build a Squid 60. But he is building a Squid 60 at noon CT. That's 10 a.m. Pacific party time, as my good friend Trav says. So check that out, guys. And thank you again. We're going to raid Mr. I Am Me, You Are You. So why can't I just can't find raid, apparently. Nope, that I almost went to some random stream. There we go. Nope, I just hit play. Start. What even
There we
is,
go.
What,
we got there.
What even is Twitch streaming? Anyway, guys, I'm Me, You Are You. Great stream, great friend of the channel. Be sure to check him out. And thank you, Mr. Dede. And as always, bye, Switch
Absolutely.
Tester.
Nice.